In this class we want to talk about relationship marketing and see what it means exactly. Relationship marketing is concerned with maintaining customer loyalty, interaction and long-term engagement. So it's all about customer loyalty, about interaction with the customer and long-term involvement with the customer, long-term engagement with the customer. The aim in relationship marketing is to use methods, tactics and strategies to develop relationships with customers and to maintain them. So the business forms relationships with the customers and then aims to maintain those relationships. Customer satisfaction is an important element as it aids in customer loyalty. So customer satisfaction and keeping the customers happy, that leads to customer loyalty, which is long-term relationship, more sales, more security of the business for the business, better presence in the market. So relationship marketing is long-term. It's building relationships with the customer. Now let's contrast the relationship marketing approach with the more traditional approach to marketing, and let's see what the differences are. So if we just put this grid on the screen for a moment, we can go down each one. Just if we look, I'll put the cursor onto the screen. Okay, if you look at the first one here, this one here, then we've got the emphasis is to make single sales for traditional marketing, whereas for relationship marketing the aim is to retain customers. It's nothing to do with single sales. This is many sales. It's retention, customer retention, so as to have many sales over a period of time. Traditional marketing tends to be short-term consideration, whereas relationship marketing is long-term. In traditional marketing, sales may be made to anonymous buyers. We don't know who the buyers are. They're just the buyer. Whereas in relationship marketing, customer records are kept, and the customer name and perhaps some details about the customer will be stored, so that there is a relationship with the customer. In traditional marketing, a salesperson may be the only contact between the buyer and the seller. With relationship marketing, different levels of relationship development between the buyer and the seller. With relationship marketing, many personnel, many people from the marketing department may be in contact with the customer in various guises, through sending out newsletters or sending out information about promotions and discounts and customer satisfaction follow-up, and so there are many people. It's building a long-term relationship with the customer. With traditional marketing, no customer commitment. So the business doesn't have a big commitment to the customer. With relationship marketing, the business has a high priority given to customer commitments. With relationship marketing, the business needs to find out what the customer is like and what they want, what they don't want, and try to give this high priority to amending the product even, so that it matches customer needs more precisely. And finally, quality is responsibility of the production department in traditional marketing. Generally speaking, quality is checked at the production stage. With relationship marketing, quality considerations permeate the whole business. There is a quality aspect in customer aftercare service to make sure that the quality of that is good enough. So quality is a total thing. It runs right throughout the organization. So there are quite stark differences between traditional marketing and relationship marketing. Now, the uses of relationship marketing, well, it's most suitable for high price or high valued products where it's worth following up on the customer. So, say for example, a car showroom selling cars would like to know some more information about the customers and have follow-up with the customers and emails, and some even will send Christmas cards or birthday cards or whatever. So it's normally with high valued goods. Products where quality is of paramount importance, that's the type of product which is most amenable to this type of marketing, where quality is everything. It could also be the case where products are technically sophisticated, perhaps industrial products, where it's complicated engineering or electronics, and there must be a relationship between the buyer and the seller to ensure that the product runs smoothly, does what it says, and gives good service. And it's used where customers are comfortable with developing and maintaining relationships. Sometimes customers don't want to give their email address or to give out details about themselves. They prefer to be more private. That has to be respected. But with some customers, they may be willing to give out details because they want promotions and they want to be told about updates and be kept informed about the product and the business because they're interested. They like the product or they like the business. And there's also, of course, customers that are involved in production process. For example, if the business is selling equipment to industry, then the community, the industry itself will know the business, and there will be relationships within the industry. Whatever the industry, say it's the car industry, car component industry, many companies will know each other, and there may be one company selling a machine that goes to many of them, and there are relationships within that community, within the industry. Now, in that case, there is an opportunity for relationship marketing. The business knows the individual businesses that it's selling to, and they may know each other for that matter, and they know that they all buy the same type of equipment. So relationship marketing is used in several sectors. Now, the process of relationship marketing will develop a service delivery system, to develop a way of implementing relationship marketing, set service standards, what is the standards that are required, and try to make these as objective as possible. Say, customers should be contacted once a month, or customers should receive the following information when it's available, or whatever. Set some sort of standard. And overcome any service problems. If there are problems, ensure that they do not hinge upon this. Relationship marketing must be seen as important. And set standards for each element of the service delivery. So not just the overall service, like I said earlier on, like setting standards generally, but set standards for each individual element so that everyone knows that they have a responsibility to engage in this type of relationship marketing. That does not mean that the customer is going to be bombarded with lots of information and lots of contact, because that's not what the customer wants. But it does mean that the customer will feel that there is ready access to the business in the event of a query or a question, a general question about the product, or some comment he wants to feedback, some feedback he wants to give about the product, or whatever. So it feels that there is an easy channel of communications, and there are people within the organization only too willing to listen and to respond. Develop customer awareness and communication system. Well, the customer awareness and communication system could be through emails or through Twitter or whatever it is. The customer is aware that the business is trying to pass out information to him or her, and the customer is grateful for that, to be kept in the loop, because they are interested in the product and in the business. And the business should provide appropriate staff training on maintaining service standards and maintaining good customer relations. It's not just simply good enough to say that they have a call center. The call center could be placed in a country where the culture is totally different, and therefore the contact between the customer and the call center will be fraught with danger and fraught with problems of understanding and articulating the problem, and unless the staff are trained. And it's not right to ask the person calling in, the customer calling in, to make the adjustments. That's not what they expected. What they expected was an easy conversation, explaining a problem or explaining an issue and having some comment come back. So staff training is very important. The relationship marketing process, well, monitor service standards by evaluating customer satisfaction. This could be approached in a variety of ways. So customer satisfaction could be monitored through focus groups, where a number of customers are invited in to give their comments openly and outwardly, and their comments are invited and encouraged through a facilitator. There could be interviews or questionnaires. There could be mystery shoppers. A mystery shopper is somebody who simply goes into the shop, perhaps goes into their own shop, a member of staff perhaps, and plays the role as a customer to see how he or she is treated. And if they don't receive good treatment from the staff in the shop, let's say, they know that other customers are not going to receive it as well. It's a bit like spying, but it's a way of trying to find the truth. It's research. Whether it's ethical or not, I'm not 100% sure. It's debatable. Customer complaints. Customers should have a way of complaining, and the complaint should be acted upon. And there should be a suggestion box, perhaps, for genuine customer contributions, comments about the product or about the business that are aimed to help the business. So a suggestion box. And a way of conducting services. So the way that the business delivers its services, that should be aimed at satisfying the customer need, and it should inspire the people delivering the service, because they are giving a good service, and that in turn will mean better, even better customer relations. But also they could just simply have market research, which could include questionnaires, interviews, focus groups, whatever, as I mentioned earlier. So use a variety of approaches to try and determine what customer satisfaction is based on, and try to evaluate how strong it is towards the product at the moment and how it could be improved, and use some of these techniques to try and get the information. Try to get it as objectively as possible. The relationship marketing process. Well, staff issues in relationship marketing. Keep staff motivated by rewarding them for exceeding customer service levels. The staff must be motivated. They must really want to help, and they must be involved in this, and they must be rewarded for their good work. They must be recognized and rewarded. That may be in the form of extra bonuses, or it may be in the form of employee of the month, whatever. But they must be recognized. And they should be sent on regular training courses to keep them updated and improve their service knowledge. Now, the advantages of relationship marketing. The business aims to provide high levels of customer satisfaction. Customer retention is the main focus of the effort. So relationship marketing is really aimed at customer retention. If it can keep the customers it's got, then it's got more chance of growth in the future, because it just needs extra customers added to the ones it's retained to make a large customer base. Without customer retention, it's starting from scratch all the time. But if it can rely on some customers, then it's got a big advantage. The method looks into marketing, service and quality for customers. This helps to generate a competitive advantage for the business. Good customer relationship increases word of mouth promotions, and customers are less likely to go to competitors. Word of mouth is not word of moth, by the way. That's a misspelling. I do apologize. So good customer relationships increase word of mouth promotion, and customers are less likely to go elsewhere. So the advantage of relationship marketing is customer retention. Now, the disadvantage of relationship marketing, well, it can be a costly process and may lead to a loss of competitiveness in markets that are sensitive to price changes. Because it is costly. It's not a cheap activity. It's trying to maintain a relationship with many customers. It's trying to keep those customers interested in the product and maintaining their interest. It's trying to find ways of engaging them. And that may be costly. And that, if it is costly, then that may lead to some loss of competitiveness, or indeed an increase in price to compensate, which may be counterproductive. Relationship marketing is not recommended for the following situations: low valued products and services. Well, there's no point in having relationships with customers if the product only costs a few pence. Relationship marketing works better with high valued products, cars and expensive jewellery and expensive clothing perhaps, and expensive holidays. These areas, relationship marketing is better used. It's not so useful either with consumer products, for grocery products, for example. So it's not so useful there, and it's also where it's not used where switching costs are low. If the customer can switch between products very easily, then their loyalty may be dubious. they may be loyal for a while and then switch over and switch back again, but that's not the idea of relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is building a customer base and maintaining the base so that they've got customer retention. They have retained the customers and the customer loyalty so that they make sales in the future based on that group. And of course, relationship marketing is absolutely no use if it's just a one-off transaction. If the customer only wants one and the customer won't be seen again, there's no point in maintaining the relationship. So in this class we've looked at relationship marketing, which really bubbles down to trying to retain customers and methods to retain customers. It can be a costly activity, and there are many issues involved in successful relationship marketing, not least of which is staff training and making sure that the customers have good experiences. It contrasts starkly with traditional marketing, but it's only useful in certain circumstances, as I've listed. So that's all I want to say for the moment about relationship marketing. It's worth going to do your own researches in the area and see what you can fill out, pad out these notes and make them into a full set of notes on relationship marketing. But for the moment, that's all I want to say, so we'll leave it at that, and thank you for watching.